In 1962, the Fairfax County School Board voted to name the new high school W.T. Woodson High School in honor of former Fairfax County Public Schools Superintendent Wilbert Tucker Woodson. Woodson served the school system as superintendent from 1929 to 1961.
His nickname that I would give him would be the Silver Fox. He had snow white gray hair, very handsome old gentleman, fascinating gentleman. He ran the school system for 35 years and was always an advocate of teachers' rights, and he always fought for the teachers, which wasn't always easy to do back in those days because they wanted to keep salaries down.
From the beginning, Woodson's faculty and staff committed themselves to providing the best educational experience for all students, no matter what else was happening in the world. Woodson High School's first decade was marked by several national and world events: the assassination of President Kennedy, racial integration, the Vietnam War, and the Apollo 11 moon landing.
In 1965, Fairfax County finally decided to integrate their schools. It was built for 2,500 and we ended up with 3,300 children. About 160 of them were African American students. When they closed the Luther Jackson High School, the black high school, we got about 150.
I can see clearly now, the rain is gone.
Woodson High School's second decade was marked by the end of the Vietnam War, the rise of disco music, renovations after a tornado struck the school, and an assassination attempt on a United States president.
The tornado took place on April Fool's Day, 1973. It was a big tornado. It ripped the roof off of the school. It demolished the Pickett Shopping Center. It was in the middle of the afternoon. It was on a Sunday. There were people in the movie theater. Nobody was killed, but there was a lot of damage done.
The thing I remember most is when I was in rehearsal for a musical, and it was the day that President Reagan was shot. And it was, not the days of internet and all that, and but somebody heard it on the radio, and so somebody had a radio, and I remember the student choreographer saying, "Life goes on, you guys, back to rehearsal," and everybody kind of went, I don't know. And I remember that having like a big impact on me, just the surreal quality of that.
Woodson's third decade witnessed the end of the Cold War, the fall of the Berlin Wall, and other social changes.
And to be a Woodson Cavalier was meaningful. It meant something. And I marvel at today if I run across someone who went to Woodson, or if I read about my high school name in the school newspaper, in the Washington Post, they're still doing great things. It brings about a great sense of pride. It is a special place, and as you get older and you go through it and you look back, you're going to realize, if you don't know it now, how special a place it is. And I think you're going to realize how much that you probably have gained from it, and appreciative of the opportunity to go there.
During Woodson's fourth decade, technology advanced, the new millennium began, and the horrific events of September 11th, 2001 changed the world.
We weren't allowed to have any field trips, so I think teachers were kind of scrambling to come up with cool things to do in the school. I think that there was really an attempt to sort of bring some kind of fun and interest in a way that was so closed off to us because we couldn't do any of the field trips.
Never made it as a wise man. I couldn't cut it as a poor man stealing.
Woodson's fifth decade saw the community reaction to the D.C. sniper attacks, the Virginia Tech massacre, and a complete renovation of the school.
I think the thing that I remember most about Woodson is that it was a school that succeeded on all levels. In academics, we were typically on the Washington Post and Newsweek polls in the top 10 or top 50. And I often worried that people would look at that and think that Woodson was a one-dimensional school.
my theater teacher, obviously Joan Bedinger. She was a mentor to so many. She was here for 30 years. So she touched a lot of lives and, I mean, really changed the course of my life. I started out teaching special ed, but I was doing theater at night. And, you know, then when the opportunity came to opened up here, that was it. She called me on the phone and she said, "It is time." It's like Lion King.
Besides Maureen O'Donnell, I would have to go with Steve Brown. Steve Brown is still teaching here. And you know, up until I met Steve Brown. And it's kind of a cool thing that I take my son now, he's 5.5, and we go to his planetarium and we look up at the stars still. It's still Mr. Brown's stars.
Now, the teacher that inspired me the most from Woodson has to be Shan Pillai. He's from the Deaf Ed department and he taught history. I met him my freshman year and I was clueless then. I didn't know what to do in high school. I had no idea.
Terry Hobson I obviously worked very closely with. Tim Evans, who's still here, fantastic teacher, really got me to love history, which is not easy for an English person always. And Tim Hudenberg, who's now back here, actually was my World Civ teacher. And it was a totally new kind of class for me, and so experiencing that was great also.
It was Susan Hsu of AP Government. She was one of my most challenging, yet the professor that I learned the most from. Her class was very rigorous, and you know, we had to do a lot of work. And I will go on to say that a lot of my college classes were easier than her class, so I felt like it was great preparation.
Yeah, so by far Miss Shelton. She taught me math for 2 years, calculus A, B, and BC. She was the one that encouraged me to go on and did everything she could to help me track down answers to the dead guy course. And she really just encouraged me to pursue math.
I had a few teachers that I really liked. I loved almost all my English teachers. Miss Herndon, Mr. Shapiro, Miss Jewell, and Mr. G, who taught history. They were all really supportive, and they loved my artwork that I did with the writing projects, and it made me feel really good about my work and made me want to do more, and it was a really good experience.
I kind of gravitated towards English and history and more of the creative classes. Paula Spencer, she was my AP history teacher, and I went on actually to major in history in college. It was probably my favorite class while I was at Woodson.
Yes, definitely Mrs. Herndon. I had her for 10th grade honors English and 12th grade AP English, and both of those classes were great. Not just the reading material that she chose, but also the lectures and just going to class and being excited to hear what was her take on the readings. And she was so professional, and you could also tell that she cared so much about the students too, and she was one of my big role models in high school.
Over the last 50 years, W.T. Woodson High School has seen many events that affected culture and the world. Through all the changes, Woodson's commitment to high standards and student achievement has never wavered.
I have to say that the name Woodson, wherever you go throughout Fairfax County, it does inspire a certain feeling. They know that there's a certain rigor and certain, as been told in the past, the Woodson way that comes with the school. I'm very pleased to be a part of that and to let the folks that have come to Woodson, that have worked at Woodson, have taken classes at Woodson High School to know that the Woodson way is alive and well here.